speak, and I'm sure none of this is like life-changing, but it's just something that's really worked for my business, and it was kind of a passion of mine. I was finding, I was kind of scared to get into the freezer workshops, and then kind of jumped in, and I was finding I was doing a lot of little workshops here and there, and it was just a lot of work because it's a lot of work to put these on. And so I figured, this is a service I can provide to my customers. I love that I'm connecting with them more now and seeing them monthly and every couple months, but just really connecting with them more like a service-oriented type of thing. I love the testimonials from them because I know how much has changed my life as a busy mom with 3 little kids, and my husband timing it to 1 minute before I have to leave for my show before he gets home, and I'm like, we can't have dinner this way, but that's how it works. And so I love seeing the testimonials and always asking my freezer workshop participants at the beginning, why are you back? The ones that come back every month. Why are you back? What is this doing for your life? And they're telling me, I actually get to see my kids at night now. It's saving me money. It's helping me lose weight. And so just a lot of great testimonials, and that's why I keep them going. And so a couple tips that I have is, since I was doing so many smaller ones, I was like, you know what? I don't really want to be working this many more times per month, but what I'm going to do is just a mega workshop once a month, and it's a long day, but it's really fun. And so I still only do my 2 to 3 shows a week, but then just 1 extra day a month is typically about an extra $3,000 in sales per month for that one day.
Wow.
So that's a long day, but it's totally worth it for many reasons. And so I do. And I think it's important to have that one date a month. So when people are referring their friends, oh, when's your next one? And you have it right then and there. You have the menu, the date. So you become that person that's the freezer meal lady, and so they know, and they're talking to their friends. And so I do 2 sessions per Saturday. It's at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And I have basically, long tables, 2 of them pulled together. So there's 2 around each side, 8 total per table, 2 groups. I have their cutting mat, their baskets, their selection of products in the middle. And so it's basically 16 people. I do it in my church, and we have access to the sink. I have them come with all their meats prepped, in their bags, labeled, so there's no cross-contamination. They share the products. And it's just worked really well that way, and there's fun. I have music playing, I have snacks for them, nothing major, but I just have little snacks for them. I do like to do the intro, so it's kind of like a cooking show where I do the intros, have them share their favorite products, and then I always talk about some of my favorites too. I always talk about the rice cooker is a great accompaniment to your meals, your rice, your veggies, just the side dish, and we talk about the grill pan and the rock crock, and people see that rock crock every month, and then they're like, okay, I need it. Like, I have to. People are talking about it, like, I need this product. So I've been selling a lot more rock crocks because of that. And I think just the key is having that date set up, having so many people there, and yeah, it's busy, there's not a huge break in the middle of it, but what I do is I have them each before they leave, they have to clean up their mat and their 2 baskets, and then they put it back on the table, that way it's ready for my next workshop coming in, so that way I'm not washing up all of those things. And I do have the orders direct shipped to them, because I used to spend like 3 hours, me and my husband the night before, sorting out 32 freezer workshop orders. It was not fun, and then hauling them all into the church. So I have them direct shipped to them. I just kind of told them, this is my change, it's going to be mailed to you now. Not one single person complained. And I think they like it because they have time to take off the seals and it's not as rushed. And then that way, if something comes up, they get sick, kid's sick, they have to cancel, they don't have to come get the stuff from me, they already have it. And I just email them the cards. And I found I can actually fit more people in now because I know there's going to be more cancellations or not shows that day. And so then I can, like an airline, overbook the workshops. But kind of my magic line is like, basically I only have 3 spots left for this workshop, and so basically just kind of promoting that. And once I started sending out that monthly newsletter every single month, I get a lot of people wanting to do it. They kind of see that over and over. It didn't have effect in the beginning. I didn't get as much response, but now when I send it every month, I usually get about 5 to 10 people that want to add to the workshop. And so a lot of them sign up again at the workshop. I tell them, okay, here, before you leave, here's my next date, here's the menu, sign up, you get a free gift when you sign up today. And so a lot of them sign up then. I have them, of course, they take the picture, they post on Facebook. My main thing is I always message those people that reply to their post. If they say, like, I want to do this too, I just message them. Or I say, like, hey, I'm going to send you a personal message. And I say, hey, this is Cammie, so-and-so's friend that did the freezer workshop. Would you like more information? And so I just kind of, hit that way, like right away. It's usually busy the first day after the workshop that I'm responding to a lot of people. But when they sign up, I had to start small with this because I don't know a lot of people in the area since I moved there recently. So I started small, and I just kind of texted a couple friends, said I'm doing something really fun, would you be interested? So I started with small groups, and then it just kind of grew from there. So I tell my consultants, even if it's 3 or 4 people, you got to start somewhere. And so but when they sign up, I tell them, okay, well, when you start, feel free to invite your friends, because when your friends find out you're doing this, they're going to want a spot too. And so I tell them, post it on Facebook. Hey, I just signed up for a freezer workshop. Who wants to come with me? Or text their mom and their sister. And it's just made a big difference, because I'm like, okay, when you get one person signed up that I don't know, I give you a free gift. And I just give them a retired season's best, because you can't give away too much because you're not making a huge profit on the workshop. And then the second one is, I tell them, when you invite 3 friends that I don't know to sign up, I give you $40 in free products, because that would be like the host rewards for having a show of that size. And so I just let them pick their products. Or I've been doing, all of our fabulous aprons that we got from conference. I'm like, okay, you get an exclusive Pampered Chef apron to keep, so just little incentives like that. And a lot of people want to invite their friends. I tell them, get your table together. They ask, oh, do you do these in the home? And I'm like, not really, but come, bring all your friends. This is my big one. Bring them all, get your table together, there's music. I tell them, you can even bring wine at the church, but they don't mind, So the free gift thing helps a lot, and just referring their friends, always making sure to tell them who, make sure to invite people that like this is more fun when you do it with friends. And let's see, how I structure it, I do the intro in the beginning, the products, I tell them my favorite thing, and then I basically have a little break in the middle. And I learned this from Davina at a conference, and it's fabulous because it gets people moving fast, and those competitive people. She tells them, every time you finish a meal, run up and grab a ticket. And then at halftime, whoever has the most tickets gets a prize. And so that way it starts them off on a good pace. She is so smart, yes. So, and that just kind of gets those people moving and gets the workshop people out of there sooner. And it's not as fair when they have like a mother-son combination, but hey, it's just all about fun. And so I started doing that, and that's really kind of cut down on the time as well. But so I always do that halftime, and so it's like pulling teeth to get them to stop when they're in the middle of it. But I'm like, I promise I need you for 2 minutes, and then I'm done with you. But I feed them a lava cake, and just talk about some other things at that point. But I always like to do that halftime, and I always like to do the product information in the beginning. And I think that's it. What question?
Oh yeah, the
yes.
parties. Yes. Oh, that's true. Exactly.
How long did it take you from when you started to where you are now? Like how long did it take?
So the first month was August, and I had 3 Sunday afternoons with like 8 people per Sunday, and it burnt me out. And I was like, this is not working. I have to change this. And so then in September, I just went to 1 workshop, and it pretty much picked up from there. And I think maybe it was, I had 1 slot, and it was 16 people, and then like the next month, it really built from there. So it didn't take long. It was faster than I thought it would be. Yes.
I love being able to answer these questions. What recipes are you using? Are you using a Pampered Chef or somebody else or something you've done?
Are you going to fire me if I tell the truth?
No.
So I have been using the Dinners Done just because I think my group is used to the 10 meals. I market it as 10 to 20 meals and under $200, because my family with 3 small kids, they take 1 bite and they're done. So we get 20 meals out of it. So I kind of market it that way. I'll probably eventually switch to the home office because I've heard they're much tastier. But for now, this is working for me, and I haven't run out of options yet. So yeah, okay. It's working. Yes.
Do you advertise them at your cooking shows?
I do. Yeah. So what I do at my shows is she asked if I market them at my shows, and I always do that now. So I always, in the beginning of my show, I give them a little wish list with a door prize slip on the other side, and I tell them, this is your wish list. Write down as many things as you could ever want. Person at the end of the party with the longest list gets a prize from me. So they're writing everything down. But then on the other side, it has like my my door prize slip, and I always talk to them about, okay, I want to be your Pampered Chef lady for life. I've been doing this almost 10 years. I'm not going anywhere. And so I tell them, if you add me in your phone as Pampered Chef lady or friend me on Facebook, I'll give you a recipe card. And so I go around and give everybody a recipe card. So that way they can text me if they have product questions, need something, last minute gift or anything like that. But then I tell them, anybody in the room like to have 2 complete weeks of dinner without having to do anything, all ready to go for your families, and so they're always really excited. And that's when I introduce that, and I just tell them my next date. And in my thank you email that I send out after the party with my little link to all the recipes, I have the menu in there, and I say I have 3 spots left, you know, and the menu's there. Yes, Randy?
Just an idea I thought of is, this is a good idea. Like she talked about the cake party. So at the end, take a picture with all the meals and say, I've got meals made for 2 weeks, and put it on Facebook. Who wants to, you know, so that you can promote that.
Yeah, the group picture.
Have a really good some of our products in the bags and say I'm ready for dinner.
Yes.
Something like that.
That's a great idea, and I think it's fun. Like people love getting their group together. They don't want to take a one-on-one picture with my sign, but when we can make it a group picture, they have fun with it. I have kids come, I have husbands come. Like it's just like an event, and people love to kind of get out of their house. People are like, well, why wouldn't they just do that at home? They love the socializing, and they feel so good getting it done. It's helping their family, and it's kind of giving a couple moms who are, you know, single moms, they'll get a sitter, and like that's their break, you know. So they're doing something for their family. Yes.
You give all the 16 people on a given day, they can pick whichever menu option.
I don't. I'm mean that way. Yeah. I can't figure that out in my brain, so it's just every month is a different menu, and then that way I'm not trying to, because I print out their workshop cards for them. That's the only thing I print, so that they have that day, and that would be too hard for me to figure that out. And so I just do, each month is a different menu. I forgot to say this, I do have a lot of to-go orders. Every month, probably 10 people that customers from when I used to live in Missouri that get my newsletter, and I always put in there, I do to-go workshops. If you can't make it that day, but you don't want to miss the menu, I mail you your stuff, and I email you your directions. You're very easy to follow steps. So it's like 10 people a month at least that want to do to-go orders.
I have another question. I have so many questions. My question is, well, actually, first a comment and a question. We've heard from so many people they didn't do it because it is a lot of work, and individuals aren't selling products. They're just selling the, you know, consumables, spices.
Yep.
It sounds like your sales are really quite robust. So how are you integrating the selling of product, or is it just the spices?
Well, I do ask them, you know, when they place their order, I've been asking them more and more, is there anything else that you want when we place your order? And so sometimes they'll add a product that way, especially if they've been to other workshops, especially if they're like $2 away from this free gift or whatever, they'll add like salad choppers. I'm like, okay, that works. And then I do go around with a little wish list during the party because their hands are all dirty. So, you know, here's your little wish list because I know you can't write it down right now on a sticky note, and you can take this home. And I do give them a free gift when they order within 24 hours. But so I do get orders that way, lots of grilled pans and stuff when I bring that to my workshop. But I tell consultants, even if you have a once a month workshop with 10 people coming to that, it's a $700 show, you know, every month that you could have, and it's, you know, it's fun and it's helping, you know, helping our customers. Yes.
I just wanted to say I noticed a lot higher sales when I started having them place their own order. I had them place the order for their own stuff. I set up a show and have them go to the link and order their own products, their own spices.
Fabulous.
Rubs. And in the little link I say check out the online catalog while you're there and place an order, and I tell them that there's a special, you know, for a $70 or $75 order. And that's how I noticed I got more sales, was just letting them.
That's awesome.
That's great.
I just put all of the item numbers of the rub with a little comma, and I just tell them to copy it and paste it right into the. So they
And I'm sure you guys have lots of, you know, great ideas too and everything. I wish we had time to hear all of them.
I know.
Yes, Anna?
Cammie, just really quick, and maybe I missed this. What do you do in your 2-minute, that little 2-minute, your halftime thing? Is it just like sort of the 3 ways to get membership products? Like
Yeah, it's about hosting the special coming up. What recipe are they most excited to try tonight? And then basically just kind of, you know, reinforcing here's a couple of products that might work really well along with these meals. And then I just kind of, you know, tell them about placing their order and give them a catalog, how to sign up for the next one. And yeah, it's just a quick thing. Yes.
And in that time, I also ask them if anybody, since we have a lot of inexperienced people cooking, and now they're getting a little more comfortable to admit that. So I try to go over each of the items and ask them, do you have any questions on how to prepare this when you get home? Do you have any, would you like some ideas on what to make with it? Just so that when they go home, they can feel really comfortable then to cook it.
And I do email them the consultant recipes ahead of time. I ask them to print it and bring it to the workshop, just because I found I was emailing that afterwards, and so many people would leave the workshop wanting to make one that night. And so I'm like, okay, here, you already have the cook times and everything, so they're not waiting on me to send that out or anything. Yes, Jeff?
Do you make a recipe for them to eat while you're doing this? Are you working on anything else?
Not a major one. I should probably cook one of the next month's one, but I never do. I just do a lava cake and artisan bread, or I show the pineapple wedger, or just something simple like that.
Because one of my directors who was flying with this, and she has 10,000-15,000 a month in sales now, Elena. She always has her grilled pan going during a freezer meal, and then she runs her own special for it. If you buy this tonight, I'll give it to you at 10% or 50%, whatever, with frozen something. And she gets crazy sales.
Wow.
And
That's awesome.
of that grill pan, they keep seeing it over and over, and that's how she gets a lot of sales. She said even if she's just grilling up pineapple and chicken, and they're all out of their mind from the smells and the taste.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yes. Yeah, back there? The company's one. Yeah, it's great. I feel bad. It's the same one they get every month, but it has the menu on it. It's the same wording and everything, but I think it's the consistency and them seeing it every month. Yeah, Marna?
Are you adding it to your other email, the newsletter? You're adding your own article, or are you putting it in your welcome section?
I do two, so I do the one.
Separate.
It's a separate one. Yeah, at a different time, yeah. Stacey?
How do you handle the leftover spices? Like, are they ordering full packages every time, or are you letting them?
They are, and I just tell them because we have so many great different seasonings. Each one is a different pantry pack, but you have the recipe so you can make your favorite ones again, when you have your leftovers. And I do email them that document. So, and I also do the punch card, which has worked really well. The buy 4, get the 5th one free. And I have a lot of people coming back, and they're like, I forgot my punch card. I'm like, I'll punch you next time, But they love the savings, it's their little reward card. So, yes.
So you're only offering one menu, and I'm assuming they can change out the meats if they don't like the meat or whatever. You give them some flexibility with that.
Yes.
How do you charge them a flat fee each time? Like I charge $80 to my workshops, and they get their products. If there's money left over, I buy them a product with it, and it covers their shipping and everything. So how are you marketing that?
I do the cost of the workshop, but the first workshop I always add on the mini measure all because I think they need their own, and so then they just bring that back to the workshop. So the second workshop they don't have anything else, but like that first one, that's their tool that they need for it. So I always add that one on, but it's the actual cost of the workshop for them. Yeah. Another question over here? Yes.
Yeah. I have my glasses, I get to read it, but I think I said.
Do you want some glasses?
You said that they have, thank you though. They need to clean up their mat, and did you say the basket?
Yes.
Of products, so do you have 2 baskets of products?
So,
Duplicates, or is that what you do?
well, the products are kind of sitting in the middle of the table, and I just kind of wipe down the tablecloths, between sessions, because they're usually not too bad, but at the end I just kind of throw everything away. But in the middle time, before they leave, they clean up their mat, wash and dry, and there are 2 baskets. So one basket for their pantry items that they, put theirs in when they get there, and then the one basket for their food, that's for their food bags. So they wash them, put those 3 things back at their station, so it's ready to go for the next people. And then I wash up the products in the middle of the table before the next room. Yes, so I have their slicer, a couple can openers, a bunch of knives, everything in the middle of the table that they kind of share. So more things, 2 food processors at each table. So yeah, but I didn't start that way. If I have one product, I tell them, okay, this one calls for the mango wedger, so you're going to come up to the front when you're at that part, because I only have one mango wedger, they come up and they use it. And so anything like that, if I only have one product, they come up for that specific item. So yes. They don't. Yeah. But, we donate money for them, kind of we're paying for it, but yeah.
I mean, do you only take the 18 and then you have a couple extras?
18.
I mean, how many people you said?
So 16 per slot. Yeah, and I always overbook a couple because I know there'll be last minute no shows. So, yeah. Any other questions or things? We're good. All right. Thank you.